Yeah, this is Chuck Mondale again, coming to you from the Mondale Homestead. We got to talk about a few things. My production guy suggested that I do some sort of introduction. So, I'm Chuck Mondale. I'm the second oldest of 4 boys and a girl. My dad coached at Phoenix High School. In fact, he started the program at Phoenix High School in 69 or 70. And I came aboard as an assistant in about 1980 after I finished messing around at OSU. Okay, I wrestled at OSU for the better part of 4 years. I never did anything I did some things I was supposed to do, but I did some things that didn't help me. So I didn't become a very good wrestler because I wasn't very tough, but I became a pretty good coach and referee. So 2 out of 3 is not bad. Anyway, I just wasn't tough enough. I tried to do a bunch of stuff without being fit, and you get nothing but injured. So keep that in mind. We gotta be fit. Again, I wrestled at OSU in the middle 70s, early to middle 70s. Was my dad's assistant from about 1980 through 93, probably. Whenever he retired, I don't recall when it was. But I've mentioned before about being a savant. I'm a wrestling savant. I know it sounds weird, and some of you people might be offended by that, but it's just the way it is. You should know by my work that I know what the heck's going on, see, when it comes to wrestling. Okay? So, that's an introduction. I messed around in Southern Oregon for the last 50 years, wrestling-wise, if not more. So, again, Dale Thomas was my mentor. The late, great Dale Thomas. Also, I'd like to take a second here to send best wishes to the remainder of the Strobel family. They lost their mom, and they just lost their dad. So, Greg Strobel, if you don't know who that guy is, you guys, you need to Google him. He's the backbone of wrestling, basically, in the state of Oregon, as far as I'm concerned. That whole group in there, Bielenberg, Knorr, Harris, Hicks, all those guys. Okay, that's the introduction. It's not that important. But anyway, listen, the other thing that we need to get squared away is this thing about de-emphasizing winning and losing. Okay? It's exactly what it sounds like. We don't worry too much about winning and losing. Okay? Because there's 100 factors that we don't have control over to determine whether we win or lose. So I'm not worried about winning and losing. There'll be a time for winning and losing, but usually it's not at the beginning of a young student athlete's career. So, and if we focus on something other than the process, then we're wasting our time. Okay? We as a wrestling family, we have to de-emphasize winning and losing. Okay? And we all have to be involved. Whoever we can get from the family involved, and of course the wrestlers and everybody else has to buy into this thing about we're going to get taken down, we're probably going to get beat, and it's okay. We just have to focus on the baseline that we have mentioned before. Okay? If and when we get going, and you're trying some things for the first time and maybe they don't work out, go ahead and give me a call or text me or whatever we're going to do. So the baseline is important. Remember, we talked about it before. And number two, this business of focusing on winning and losing. That will deter development quicker than anything. Folks, I'm telling you that right now. We have to de-emphasize winning and losing, especially for the young kids. Especially. You know, the better we are, the higher we go. You know, yeah, we think about winning and losing. But not when we're young. No. Okay? And another thing, I've talked about it with my group. I don't think we've addressed it. But I would not let any sweats in the room when we're drilling or when we're scrimmaging. At neither time would I allow sweats in the room. For one thing, if we need sweats, we should probably be at the next weight and not worry about it. Again, you have to worry about the process. Okay? And then winning and losing will take care of itself. You focus on the baseline that we're developing right now in this series. Okay? I would not let sweats in the room, any kind. We need to be as close to natural as we can be, Code. So, also, listen, this is something else that people usually don't think about. And this is in regards to women's wrestling. If there's a better self-defense for a woman, young woman, older woman, than learning how to defend yourself and learning how, if you have to, you know, to take care of business, let's say. So, I learned from the second I stepped on campus at OSU that the women were going to play a big part. So, and that's what we're trying to do at Phoenix right now. We want every little soul involved. We want every soul that we can out there, so we can get this program back up on its wheels and get moving in the right direction. Okay? Again, de-emphasize winning and losing. See, if you're afraid to wrestle, you're focusing too much on winning and losing. See, you're afraid something bad's going to happen. Okay? So, if we get in shape and we do the things we're supposed to do, we'll be fine. Okay? And it's hard to de-emphasize winning and losing, but we have to. I have to catch myself as a coach. I have to catch myself, so. But it's important that, again, we go back to the baseline. That's how I'm going to evaluate your young student athlete, is again the baseline that we're putting together. Right? I think later on this evening we'll probably go more on the on this penetration business, because it's difficult. We need to slow it down and look at each aspect of it. Oh, one more thing. When we're doing any kind of drilling, we have to make a distinction between what I want as, what I would think as and call a hard drill. Okay? And in my mind, that's where, you know, one guy has, you know, will go 3 times, and the partner, the hamburger will, you know, go about 7/8, do what he's supposed to do, but, you know, eventually let, you know, your partner score. See? But you do all you would do normally. See? So, a reminder, personal training, Want to make sure the whole family might be listening in. Rich, how you doing? All right. Now, you know a little bit of what I'm about. There's one other thing I want to clear up. There's one thing you never want to be as a coach, as a random coach. I call it random coaching. Nothing's connected. I knew one head coach that would allegedly watch wrestling on the weekend, and it'd have no bearing on Monday's practice. Had no bearing. The competition had no bearing. That's what you call random coaching. Just whatever's there. That's random coaching. Things have to be connected. If you're a random coach, you're just pulling stuff out of thin air. See? So, do not be a random coach. Have purpose to the scrimmage. When it's time to really scrimmage, you know. Okay. And then there's like a light drill that we use as a warm-up, kind of. Okay? We use this light drill as a warm-up. And another thing about this drilling business, we go from, when we get rolling, we go from setup to points. Okay? This is very important. You see this all the time. If you just do a half or a third of the motion at one time, so you're going to be lost. So, I just wanted to make that point. So, de-emphasize winning and losing. The second thing is, the young men need to run. Absolutely, positively need to run. There's no question. You will not be able to do what I ask you to do at the pace I ask you to do it without being in tip-top running shape. Running shape. That's the kind of shape we need in the third round. I always say, if you see a track, run. If you see a wrestling mat, you wrestle. Okay? I'm not into all this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not into all this stuff, all this, let's just say Johnny-come-lately. Okay? I think too many coaches spend too much time in the weight room. Weight room is for the coaches who don't know how to coach, really. They don't know what to do, so they put them in the weight room. That's ridiculous. A lot of fitness will go a lot further than a lot of strength, I'll tell you that. So, I think that's a pretty long introduction. No, that's only 14 minutes. Anyway, I think we're going to gather again this evening, and we're going to look at creating forward momentum. Okay? / deep inside step. Okay? And remember, we have to have the courage to wrestle in the neutral. Okay? And in my baseline, okay, I'll show you how to protect yourself. If you do what we ask you to do, inside step, and he fights you off, that's the way it goes. We talked about it earlier. We cannot get discouraged. If he fights us off once or twice, we cannot be discouraged by that. We just have to, I like to say, we're hunting penetration the whole time. Anytime we're in the neutral, we're hunting penetration. Actually, there's only two things I ask him to do. Either tackle him with position or snap and spin. And I think maybe tonight we'll need to start on snapping and spinning, because that's the other part of being a superstar in the neutral, is being able to just at the drop of a hat spin them for points. See, and anytime anybody's on all fours in front of us, we need to be scoring. We do not need to be grabbing and holding on. In fact, we need just the opposite. We need to be uber tight, ready to let go in a split second with a spin for points. So, all right, I think we're gonna call this good for now. I hope it's what my production guy wanted. We'll see. Bye for now.